you keep coming back a lot to modernity, and that's fantastic. I think just to prefix, I also met you because one of the first symposiums that I started here with the help of Leo as well.
Yes.
Was the Gnostigan symposium, or like how we use things that are lost, so like the materials of everyday life, be it media, etc., and how we are always perpetuated in modern culture. And what Svetlana Boym, writing on the future of nostalgia, says is it's called chronophobia. And it's exactly what you said earlier about George Simmel, right? About how the city is so convoluted, and we are always so hyper-fixated on that busyness of life, so that people who live in the city have to use what we call locus of control, or that kind of a robot, a way of dealing with things without emotions, right? Rationalization, and whereas people who don't live in the city can be nice with each other and can trade materials and trade bread and food, right? Whereas anything in the city is fully has a value on it. So like these things earlier, like we are rich in VHS, we are rich in paper, for example.
Yes.
We find it rich because it gives us enrichment. Like the materials within itself can grow for what it is. The materials that make the tree or became the paper exists now and happened, right? Like you said earlier, things in this book didn't happen, but they exist forever. And so when nostalgia comes in, and you came back earlier when you said, what could we do to go forward? I'm thinking about what everyone's been saying so far. That machine back there that you and I have been trying to work on for 10 minutes and it's not working, it's not contingent just on the fact that that scanner needs to work because it trains us. We also have to train ourselves on how to use the scanner. So that machine not only becomes an operating machine, but the operator has to be mechanized into knowing how to operate the thing, right? It's like there's not a non-human or a human. There's always a technological thing involved.
Yes.
So when we talk about nostalgia, it's not the fact that we are nostalgic about past that was, but a past that could have been. So when we go back and we look at the ceramic, we're not exactly looking at where the ceramic came from, from like the dinosaurs or whatnot, but we're looking at the core, the kind of the very first aspect of what this clay, this mold represents, and what then it can be transformed into something else while also retaining its own kind. Having the fruits of the tree before the tree was even bearing fruit, for example. And what I love about your practice is you really dig down, not only just with the product that they sell us, right? Or like you settle with just the paper outside, and you do a very boring critique that many people do of, against modernism, we shouldn't look at the labels, This is like a thing that perpetuates stereotypes, for example. You go in and you look at what was the thing that was at play before people started playing it. What was already put there? What was already molded? The ideas behind it before the molding happened.
Yes.
What made the person who watches the film a movie watcher? What made the ceramic person who sees ceramic become a ceramic artist? What made Miceli become Juan Miceli, right? And I find that I'm still gobsmacked and fascinating. It's just the fact that you also work with things that people already discard, or as Walter Benjamin says, culture is the ordinary. It's the things that we don't think about. It's the everyday thing. It's the boredom. But there's always that excitement, that possibility within it. And using that nostalgia, that final part of creative nostalgia, which is basically when you look at things that have been sold or forgotten or told that we should forget about it, or we should remember it because this book is good, you throw that away and you re-look at it, you re-imagine yourself in it, and you keep that personal, that creative, that social aspect of it. And in that potentiality and fantasies, your future is born. Not a future that is sold to you, that if you watch this film, you'll go back to a time. Or when your supervisor may say, if you do this thesis, you will become great. You really reveal your own fantasies in the process of doing art, and you are yourself becoming a product of your art. So
thank you.
Sorry, it took like 20 minutes.
One of my first friends here, Richy, I had to introduce him. Yeah, I love him. And the thing is that we're really connected, but I am also in an affective way, but it's something that goes beyond friendship. I think that's what I propose through art. We don't have to go to eat pizza every Sunday. We have to get along in what we imagine for the future, in a way. As we were speaking at the beginning, I think that the mold is used to create all equal things, but it's also a machine of creating the idea of mold, as you said before. It's the publicity of itself. It's let's go the mold way. That's what the mold say. Let's go the mold way.